Good morning and welcome to the Zach Ratliff Show. I'm Zach. All right, let's just jump right in today. Well, first, it's Tuesday, the 20th of May. And like I say, Tuesday is the hardest work day of the week. Monday, you're getting over the weekend. Wednesday's hump day. Thursday is the day before Friday. Also, some of you call it Thirsty Thursday. And Friday, well, Friday, half you slackers only work till noon, at least mentally. So, Tuesday is the hardest worked day of the week. All right, I'm going to jump in with it. I've said for years now, especially in the Biden administration, and if I had a little horn button, I'd blow it, toot toot, that a weak U.S. executive, a weak president, leads to chaos throughout the world. And that is borne out to be true. We're seeing that in every way, especially now that Donald Trump is in office. So I want to start with this article from ArabNews.com. The EU agrees to lift all economic sanctions on Syria. What? Why would they do that? Because Donald Trump did it. Because Donald Trump had so many wins in the Mideast that it's changing the way the rest of the world does business. Donald Trump has had so many wins with China now that it's changing the way the rest of the world does business. When we have a strong executive, when we have somebody that knows what they're doing, that's America first, that means what they say, and then acts on it, the world is a safer place with a strong U.S. executive. And this just shows that. All this mealy mouth kowtowing to everybody, that doesn't help anybody. It just makes us look weak. Have somebody that comes in there and says, hey, sit down and shut up. Here's what we're going to do. And then shows up to make it happen. That's the key. Trump doesn't just say it, he does it. And because of that, the world is falling in line. And everybody's... Now look, do I agree 100% with everything Trump says? Absolutely not. Do I think he's our savior? No. That guy came to Earth around 2,000 years ago. We killed him. Luckily, he was God, so he got up to save us all. So do I think Trump's that guy? No. Do I believe that God can use people and appoints all leaders? Yes. So there's that. And look, do we still need to be praying for America? Absolutely. I pray every day that God doesn't end us for all the evil that we've done. Look, it just is what it is on that. And so anyway, but this proves, this Arab News article, ArabNews.com, that with a strong executive in the Oval Office in the United States, the world is less chaotic and is safer. And that's just true. All right, I'm going to go up to the top of my notes. Some of them I think I have twice, so that's kind of why I'm going to go backwards, and we'll just see what we've got here. So the House GOP tax bill is up, and they call it a sweeping tax and spending cuts package. Well, part of it's just making permanent the tax cuts that are already in place. Part of it's stopping the tax hike that would happen. That tax cut's in place from the first Trump administration. So we need that, right? I mean, that's a good thing. Of course, this article tries to make it look as bad as can. Getting to keep more of your money is never bad. And then they're like, oh, it's going to hurt Medicaid because there's going to be, for the first time in Medicaid's 60-year history, this is CNN.com, by the way, certain recipients 19 to 64 would be required to work at least 80 hours, hold on, not a week, a month. Oh my gosh, how dare you have to work 20 hours a week? 20 hours a week? I can't believe we would demand such a rigorous activity from people that our tax dollars are paying for. And it just kind of goes on. 71 million Americans have Medicare. Yeah, okay. And look, I'm not against helping people. I'm also not against requiring people to help themselves. You're going to get a larger child tax credit. The MAGA accounts for kids which stands for Money Account for Growth Advancement. I don't like it. I don't like, and basically the government will put $1,000 into an account for every child born to 2025 to 2028 to U.S. citizens. That money then grows. Then you can add up to $5,000 a year into that account for your kid, and then when they're 18, they can have. I don't like that. Don't take my money and give it to somebody else. I don't like it. If you want to put $1,000 in the bank for your kid, go do that. If you want to put $1,000 in the bank for my kid, I'll let you do that. But I'm not going to require you to. This is theft. The Republicans are stepping way out of line with this. And I just don't like it. This is not what I voted for. So I'm against that part of the tax bill. No taxes on tips and overtime. It applies to occupations that traditionally receive tips. That makes sense. So I don't think you should pay tips on overtime. A boost for senior citizens. Senior citizens are going to receive a $4,000 increase to their standard deduction from 2025 to 2028. And so there's that. Car loan interest deduction. Awesome. More tax breaks. Package would temporarily boost the standard deduction by $1,000 for single filers and $2,000 for married couples. State and local tax deduction. There's more business tax breaks. Here's the thing too: higher taxes for universities and foundations. That's right. If you have these endowments and then you're receiving all this federal money, go ahead and pay some taxes on those endowments that you're holding, since you're already taking this money. The one thing that I don't know that it's hidden in there, but it's towards the bottom of this article, is they're going to raise our debt ceiling by $4 trillion. So that'll put us at $40 trillion in debt. That's an unimaginable number. You have to remember, what is it? 1 million seconds is 11 days. 1 billion seconds is 31 years, and 1 trillion seconds is over 100,000 years. And I think that's close. You can do a quick internet search on DuckDuckGo or whatever and see that. Work mandate for food stamps, and some of the cost goes. Yeah, you should have to work. I'm for helping you. That's okay, but you should have to work. It's a crazy thing that we have generations of family. We have generational poverty in the greatest country to ever exist. All because we've convinced people they don't have to work. It's a wild thing. It's abuse of these people. I don't understand it. They're axing clean energy projects. Good, because that's not true. The energy is not cleaner by the time you rape the earth for all the minerals and whatnot that they put into all this stuff. And two, it just pays the millionaires who back the Democrat politicians. Get rid of it. If the company can stand on its own, let it stand on its own. I'm not against the prospect. Why don't we try nuclear? We know how clean that is and how safe it is. Well, how do you know how safe it is? Because our Navy operates off of it. That's how I know. It's just a wild deal. Anyway, that's pretty much all the stuff that I can see that's major in that, and just wanted to make sure and hit that. And then back to the U.S. executive creating peace around, not peace, but structure and strength around the world. Now, Russia and Ukraine direct talks are to begin immediately, according to thehill.com. This, once again, is what leadership looks like. Step in, do the hard thing, get stuff done. 77 million of us voted for this. 77 million of us came out to support Trump and his ideas. We can't just be manipulated by the media time and again. Now, this is interesting. It was on Fox News, and then Benny Johnson on X.com comes back to it and says Representative James Comer says potential staffers who operated Biden's auto pen have been identified. Everyone is being brought in for interviews, subpoenas, and depositions. So we're going to get to see who unless they just lie. Which why wouldn't they, right? Why wouldn't you just lie? But we may get to see who actually operated the auto pen. If it wasn't the president, a lot of these pardons and stuff go away, I think, or at least they should. I don't know how you'd correct it. The Oval Office wasn't ran by Biden for the last 4 years. A lot of us already knew that. Kind of like this cancer thing. This didn't just come up, like I said yesterday. He admitted to it a couple of years ago on camera, and they just said, oh, he misspoke. This guy's been a puppet. There's a ventriloquist. There's a marionette just making it happen. And now, it's funny, I'll get to that. Don't let me get ahead of myself. So we'll get to that. So here it is. Clandestine on X.com. It is now clear that Democrats and the mainstream media plan was with the whole Biden thing. They did a Friday night news dump for the Biden-Hur tapes, which show how mentally incompetent Biden was, how he didn't even know where he was. It was worse than going to visit somebody's grandparents at the nursing home. Biden had no clue what was going on. And then, after they do that, they come back Monday, or not even Monday, and drop, oh, he's got cancer, we can't talk bad about him. Whoa. You're the same people wishing Donald Trump died. You're the same people that burned effigies of his body. You're the same people that tried to say he faked getting shot in the head. But we can't say anything bad about Biden. Why not? It's crazy. The double standard blows my mind. It's crazy. Do I wish death on him? No. Can we talk about what he did? Yes. It's like when you go to a funeral. And then you kind of look around halfway through, I might be in the wrong place because I have no idea who they're talking about, because that's not the person that's in that box. Or can, however you handle that. It's amazing what's expected of us from the media, because they've manipulated us and they've gaslit us for so long that they don't expect any pushback from us. They being the political elite and the mainstream media. We've got to stand up. We've got to talk about it. We've got to talk about the things. And here we are doing that. Okay, and then here's it from Western Lensman. It's kind of the same type deal. Hakeem Jeffries wants to talk of the Biden cognitive cover-up shutdown. Says it's entirely inappropriate for Republicans to discuss such conspiracy theories after a cancer diagnosis. Conspiracy theory? The special investigator found that he couldn't do trial because he wasn't mentally competent. He didn't know where he was. Just a nice old man. The conspiracy is the way they've railroaded our government and the people, and continue to do so. Conspiracy theory. You gotta be kidding me. But it's okay. Just call the conservatives and the right side conspiracy theorists and say they're making it all up, and the media will spread that lie for you, and then everybody thinks that's the truth. Not anymore, my friend. Thank God for Elon Musk and buying X and allowing free thought and free expression. So much so that even Zuckerberg and those guys are like, okay, we've got to relent a little. Without free speech, we are lost. Liberals are only for free speech if you're saying what they want you to say. And that's the difference in the parties. Liberals are for free thought and free this and free that, as long as you say exactly what they need you to say. Conservatives, I won't say Republicans, but I'll say conservatives, are truly for free thought. Have your idea. Bring it to us. Let's see if it works. Take responsibility for that idea. If it doesn't work, that's on you. If it does work, good job. You also get to benefit from that. It's a crazy thing, this whole responsibility thought in the world. Goodness. Just goodness. All right, we're going to move on. Let's see, what was this? Oh, yeah. This is from Secretary Kristi Noem. So you saw where this lady Let's see. I'll just read the statement. After a thorough review of the video footage of Delaney Hall and a full investigation from HSI, the U.S. Attorney for the District of New Jersey has made the determination to charge Congresswoman LaMonica McKeever for assaulting, resisting, and impeding law enforcement officers. No one is above the law. That's exactly right. If we show up to an ICE facility and start fighting some ICE guards and some federal officers or a prison or whatever, we're going to jail, baby. You can't do that just because you're a congressperson. You're representative, not ruler. Representative. You don't rule us. You work for us. You don't get special treatment no matter what the liberal courts show you or no matter what it's not the way it works. That's not what we're for. Republic. Constitutional republic. That's what we're in. Don't worry. None of that matters unless they're saying that we're destroying the Constitution. Anyway, I'm glad to see this happening. We can't say, we can't arrest our congresspeople. That's not a law. That's not a thing. We need to arrest all these bastards. Good night. Good night. It's just crazy. Oh, here's another one on the Biden cover-up. This is from Libs of TikTok. If you're not following them, you need to be. They have some great stuff. This is Libs of TikTok on X.com. Just a few months ago, Biden doctors swore he was totally healthy. That's absolutely right. Now he has grade 5 prostate cancer with metastasis to the bone. I think that's how you say that. I'm a good old boy, you know. There's no way they didn't know. They lied to the American people. Democrats all lied and were in on the cover-up. His doctors need to be hauled before Congress for questioning. That's the thing about a liar, though. They're going to continue to lie. It's the way it works. And here's what's sad. This is what we expect. This is what we know the Democrats to be. And this is for sure what we know the Biden White House to be. However, I'm hopeful going forward. Big things are happening for this country. We have to continue to pray for it. We have to continue to move forward. Some big things happening in Texas. I'll have a few articles on that tomorrow. I'm excited about where we're going. I'm excited about this nation. I pray that God blesses it. And I hope God blesses each and every one of you today. I'll see you tomorrow.